In a quiet village, where winding dirt paths met the edge of a wide and whispering forest, there lived a black bird. This little bird had feathers so glossy, they shimmered in the sunlight, and wings that could carry him across the skies. Yet, despite all this freedom, he often felt like a prisoner not of cages or hunters, but of his own troubled thoughts. Day after day, he perched on a tall tree branch, watching life move around him. He saw children running barefoot through the fields, farmers guiding their animals home, and flocks of other birds chirping happily as they soared across the blue sky. But instead of joining in their joy, he sat still, restless and unsatisfied. One afternoon, as the warm sun dipped lower in the sky, the blackbird's sadness became too heavy to hold inside. A tear slipped down from his eye and fell silently toward the ground. Beneath the very tree where he perched, there sat a sage, an old man with a calm face, dressed in simple robes, resting quietly in meditation. When the tear touched his cheek, the sage slowly opened his eyes and looked up. There, high in the branches, he saw the blackbird weeping. "Little one," the sage called gently, his voice calm like the rustle of leaves. "Why are you crying?" The blackbird lowered his gaze, ashamed, and said in a trembling voice, "Oh wise one, my life feels unbearable. No one loves me. People chase me away whenever they see me. They do not offer me food or kindness. To them, I am a nuisance, a worthless creature. Sometimes I feel death would be better than such a life." Hearing these words, the sage's heart was filled with compassion. "Dear bird," he said softly, "happiness does not come from what others say about you. It comes from within, from learning to be content with who you are and what you have." But the blackbird shook his head. "How can I be happy when the whole world seems to despise me? I wish I could be something else, anything else someone others would admire." The sage looked at him with patience and asked, "Tell me, if you could choose, what would you want to be?" The blackbird thought for a while, then answered, "If you truly want to help me, then make me into a heron. They are elegant, pure, and loved by all. Everyone admires their beauty. If I were a heron, I would finally be happy." The sage nodded kindly. "I can grant your wish, little one. But before I do, go and ask a heron whether he is truly happy. See for yourself, then return to me." And so, with hope fluttering in his heart, the blackbird spread his wings and flew off. The blackbird soared across the forest until he reached a calm, glimmering pond. There, standing tall and graceful in the shallow water, was a heron. Its feathers were white and gleaming in the sunlight. Its long neck curved like an elegant ribbon. The blackbird was in awe. He landed nearby and called out, "Heron, you are so beautiful, as white as snow. Everyone must love you. You must be the happiest bird in the world." The heron lifted his head slowly and sighed. "No, friend, I am not as happy as you think. The world is filled with colors, bright blues, fiery reds, golden yellows, but I have none of them. I am plain and colorless. My feathers are only white. To others, I may look elegant, but in my heart I feel empty. I often wish I could be like the parrot, who wears all the colors of the rainbow." The blackbird blinked in surprise. "So you are not happy either?" The heron shook his head sadly. "No, I am not." The blackbird flew off again, a little puzzled, but still hopeful. Soon, he found a parrot perched on a leafy branch. The parrot's feathers glowed with green, red, and yellow, and he looked like a jewel among the trees. The blackbird's heart leapt. He greeted him eagerly. "Parrot, you are so colorful and bright. Everyone must admire you. Surely, you are the happiest bird in the world." But the parrot gave a sorrowful look and replied, "No, friend, I am not happy. People love my colors, but because of them, they trap me in cages. I live in constant fear of being captured. I long for freedom, but I cannot enjoy it because I am always worried someone will take it away. I believe the peacock must be the happiest bird, for he is even more beautiful than I am." The blackbird tilted his head. "So you are not happy either?" The parrot shook his head. "No, I am not." The blackbird flew off once more, now more curious than ever. At last, after flying over many trees and fields, he reached a zoo. There, behind iron bars, stood a peacock. Its feathers spread in a dazzling fan of blues, greens, and shimmering golds. People crowded around, pointing and gasping in amazement. The black bird could hardly believe his eyes. When the crowd left, he approached the peacock quietly and said, "Magnificent peacock, you are admired by thousands. When people see me, they shoo me away, but when they see you, they gather in awe. You must be the happiest bird in the world." The peacock lowered his head, his voice heavy with sadness. "Once, I too believed I was the happiest, but my beauty has become my prison. Because of my feathers, I am trapped here in this cage. People pluck them to make decorations, and it pains me deeply. I cannot roam free. Day after day, I look out through these bars and dream of being like the blackbird. You can fly wherever you want. You are not trapped like me. You are free." The blackbird gasped, "You envy me?" The peacock nodded, "Yes, I do. If I could be you, I would live joyfully, flying through the skies without fear." For the first time, the blackbird saw himself differently. The blackbird returned to the sage, his heart no longer heavy with envy, but light with understanding. He perched on the tree above and said, "Wise one, I no longer wish to be anything else. I am happy as I am." The sage looked up with a smile. "Now you see, we often compare ourselves with others, thinking their lives are better. But when we look closely, we find they too carry their burdens." The heron longed for colors. The parrot feared cages. The peacock was trapped by his beauty. Each one was unhappy, just like you. And yet, you already had something. They all desired freedom. The blackbird let these words sink in. For the first time in his life, he spread his wings, not out of restlessness, but out of joy. He soared high above the trees, the wind rushing against his feathers, and he laughed a clear, free sound echoing through the forest. From that day on, the blackbird no longer cursed his life. He no longer wished to be someone else. Instead, he found happiness in his own wings, his own songs, and his own freedom. And so, the story teaches us, when we compare ourselves to others, we lose sight of our own blessings. True happiness does not come from being someone else. It comes from being grateful for who we are and what we already have. The happiest person is not the one who has everything, but the one who appreciates what they have.